Let me tell you something. If you ever think your life is quiet, peaceful, set for slow mornings and sunset cocktails, just wait till the day the HOA decides your front porch is the front line in a war you never asked for. I mean it. I used to think the only drama on the Atlantic coast was the occasional hurricane, or maybe a seagull trying to swipe my sandwich. I was wrong. Turns out, the biggest storms were navy suits, clutch clipboards, and smile like they're about to eat you alive. Yeah, that happened. I still remember the morning it all began. Sun coming up over the ocean, the world perfectly silent except for the hush of waves. My coffee was strong, Lisa was still upstairs, and the kids, well, teenagers, they could sleep through an earthquake. I'm standing there, feeling lucky, just soaking in that I made it feeling when I spot movement down the sandy path. At first, I think it's just a neighbor, maybe Carl, maybe old man Peterson with his yapping dogs. But no, 3 people, walking like they own the place. 2 guys in matching HOA windbreakers flanking a woman who looks like she hasn't cracked a smile since the Clinton administration. She steps right up, doesn't bother with a good morning, just launches in. Mr. Rivers. I'm Karen Blackwood, president of the Ocean Pearl Homeowners Association. I'm here to serve you an official notice. She flashes a stack of papers with some official-looking blue seal, probably whipped up on Canva during a particularly ambitious book club night. She starts reading, voice as sweet and sharp as a lemon drop. Apparently, as of last week's secret HOA vote, my home, my land, the same patch of coast my granddad built his life on, was now, magically, part of Ocean Pearl's empire. I let her talk, mostly because I'm half expecting her to start giggling and yell, "Just kidding." But no, she keeps going. According to her, my place doesn't meet community standards. She wants us out. 8 hours to pack and leave. I set my coffee down, real slow. You know this is private land, right? Out of your jurisdiction? She gives me a smile you usually see on a cat right before it pounces on a bird. Not anymore. We've extended our boundaries. If you don't comply, there'll be fines, legal action, or call the police if you like. Behind her, the compliance guys are flexing, taking photos of my shutters, my mailbox, my kids' beat-up kayaks. I try to keep my voice steady. Karen, county lines don't change just because your board wants a prettier coastline. This land's been in my family for generations. You can't just annex it. She shrugs like it's an inconvenience. I suggest you start packing. Right about then, Lisa's voice floats down from the upstairs window. Tom, everything okay? Just a little morning theater. I call up. Can you phone the sheriff's office? Karen raises her eyebrow. Let's see who the law sides with. I decide to speed things up, call the sheriff myself. Trespassers, fake eviction, the works. Karen doesn't flinch. She's prowling around my deck, scribbling notes, acting like she's casing the joint for HGTV's next big flip. I'm starting to think she actually believes her own nonsense. It isn't long before I see a county patrol SUV crawling up the sandy access road. Out steps Deputy Harris, guy I knew from a property dispute before I retired. Morning, Tom, he says, glancing between me and Karen's traveling circus. Karen's off like a shot, papers waving, voice rising. Officer. He's refusing to vacate Ocean Pearl property. Harris schemes the notice, smirks. Ma'am, this isn't a legal document. An HOA doesn't get to rewrite the county lines. Karen starts blustering about the county council. No, ma'am, Harris says, you're trespassing. You have 30 seconds to leave before we're writing you up. For the first time, her confidence cracks. She storms off, compliance guys in tow, leaving me with a coffee that's only slightly colder than her stare. You'd think that'd be the end of it, right? Just another HOA power play, snuffed out by the law. But people like Karen, yeah, they don't go down easy. The next morning, the ocean air is heavy, that muggy calm before a storm. I'm thinking maybe things will go back to normal, but then, crunch, tires on gravel out front. It's Karen again, this time in a black SUV, sunglasses on, hair perfect. She doesn't bother getting out, just calls from the window, Mr. Rivers, I hope you're reconsidering. I tell her flat out. Again, she's got no authority. She gives me this tight, mean smile. Sheriff's deputies don't set policy. Our board does. You'd be wise to work with us. Before I can answer, another patrol car pulls up. Harris again. Karen jumps in. This man is obstructing an HOA inspection. Harris shuts her down. You don't have jurisdiction, ma'am. You can't inspect, you can't evict, you can't even walk past that gate without a police escort and a good excuse. They ask if I want to press charges. I say, not yet, but next time, you bet. Karen peels out, angry as a hornet. Harris leans in. Tom, keep your cameras rolling. We'll keep an eye on things. I double-check my security, set up cameras everywhere. Let's just say, if a crab so much as blinks at my mailbox, I'll know. Afternoon rolls around. I'm almost relaxed. Lisa's in the hammock, the kids are on the beach. Then, out by the dunes, I spot a guy in business casual with a clipboard, snapping photos. Doesn't even wave. That night, I've got this feeling, like the tide's about to change. Next morning, the real escalation hits. I hear the racket before I see it. Metal scraping gravel, a truck engine idling. Out front, two guys are dumping a load of busted concrete and would right by my gate. Hey, I yell. They freeze. Work order from Ocean Pearl. One says, beautification project. I start filming. You're dumping illegal waste on private property. Pick it up, or I'm calling the sheriff. They hesitate, but when I make the call, they start loading the trash back onto their truck, muttering. We just do what we're told, the tall one grumbles. Next time, check the orders, I shoot back. Later, I check the mailbox. Plain envelope, no return address, just my last name. Inside, you don't belong here. Leave before it gets ugly. Classy. I slip it into a Ziploc, add it to my growing evidence stash. Lisa's face is tight with worry. It's harassment, she says. Yeah, I agree. And it's only getting started. That evening, I call Mark, old friend, sharpest attorney I know. I drive into Savannah with a bag of evidence. The notice, the video, the letter, even the blurry screenshot of someone dropping that envelope at 10 p.m. Mark's eyes light up as he flips through it all. We file today. Harassment complaint, civil suit against Karen personally, defamation, unlawful eviction, emotional distress. Cease and desist to the HOA. Every move they make from here, we turn it into a liability. For the first time since this started, I feel the weight lift off my shoulders. I'm done being on defense. The offensive begins. Mark files the paperwork, hands the cease and desist to a process server for Karen. I head home, passing the Ocean Pearl sign, manicured hedges, white letters. Somewhere in there, Karen's about to get a wake-up call she's not going to like. Over the next couple days, I get the sense the war is going public. There's a slick business card shoved in my door from a luxury realty firm. If you decide to sell, call us. I toss it on the pile, probably another one of Karen's attempts to scare me off. But then my neighbor Carl, a salty old fisherman type, drops by. Karen's been running her mouth at the HOA socials. Says she's going to force us all out. Me, you, the Hendersons. The Hendersons already caved. Sold their place. Karen's buddy in real estate lined up the buyer. That hits me harder than I thought. This isn't just about me. It's a campaign. Carl's willing to give a statement. He points me to the Martins, another couple who had a run-in with Karen over a boat trailer. She fined them even though they weren't in the HOA. They've got a folder full of angry letters, deed copies. Even emails where Karen admits she knows they're outside her boundaries, but says hit them anyway. It's all evidence from Mark. The next day, Carl calls early. Check the Ocean Pearl website before they take it down. Sure enough, there's a newly posted map of expanded boundaries, including my property, Carl's, and the now empty Hendersons. Signed by Karen. I screenshot it, sent it to Mark. This is gold, he says. Public misrepresentation. Fraud. He files an emergency motion. Now it's not just about me. It's Carl, too. The judge sets a preliminary hearing for the following week. Sheriff's office calls. Harris is grinning when I walk in. You've kicked the hornet's nest. We've got 3 more complaints, same MO, fake notices, threats, Karen strong-arming anyone outside her kingdom. The whole town is starting to talk. Karen isn't done. Next morning, a small excavator rolls up. The operator says he's got a work order to bring the property into compliance. I just laugh. You so much as touch that soil. You're trespassing on camera, and the sheriff gets a call. He backs off, says he'll call it in. More ammo for Mark's case. We subpoena the HOA's internal communications. Meanwhile, I gather every ally I can find. Old neighbors, angry ex-members, everyone with a horror story. The Martins give me a thumb drive with emails where Karen says, I know they're not under our authority, but find them anyway. Set an example. By the time the hearing rolls around, we've built a mountain of evidence. The courthouse is packed, locals, reporters, even a couple of Karen's own board members, looking uncomfortable. Karen arrives looking like she hasn't slept in weeks, her lawyer trailing behind her. The judge is all business. Mark presents it all: the forged boundary map, the fake eviction, the threatening note, the work orders, the statements from Carl, the Martins, the Hendersons. And then he drops the emails, Karen's own words about tripling property value and using any compliance measures necessary. Karen tries to spin it. She was acting in the community's best interest. The judge just stares at her. The community's interest does not give you license to break the law. Verdict: guilty. 5 years for Karen, a mountain of fines, restitution to me for emotional distress, legal fees, repairs. The HOA has to scrub every false claim from public records, issue apologies, and pay to restore my property. As they lead Karen out in cuffs, her own board members actually look relieved. One mutters, "About damn time." I sit on my porch, coffee in hand, watching contractors fix the fence, repaint the gate, haul off the last of Karen's legacy. A month later, we're back to walks on the sand, barbecue smoke, and the low rumble of waves. Carl brings over a couple of beers. "Your fight probably saved a lot of folks," he says. Maybe. Maybe it just ended a long campaign most people were too scared to talk about. I nail up a new sign on the gate: private oceanfront property. No HOA allowed. Not subtle, but hey, sometimes the truth doesn't need to be. So, let me ask you, when is enough enough? When does standing your ground become more than just a personal battle and start changing the game for everyone? I want to hear what you think. Drop a comment, tell me your story. Where do you draw the line between order and overreach, between right and just plain wrong? Ever had to fight for your home, your peace, your rights? And if you think justice is just a word in the dictionary, well, maybe you haven't had the HOA knock on your door yet. Share this story, share your thoughts, and let's talk about what real justice looks like.